Hey everybody, for this assignment we are going to talk about taking something small and drawing it very large, right? So I want this apple to be about 5 times the size on the page, so it looks something like that on the paper, all right? So let's get into it and talk about how to do this. First thing is start small. So I'm just going to start on my sketchbook and make a sketch of this before I go to the larger composition. Now, what I like to do with an object like this is just kind of block out its parameters. What is its overall height and width, and how does that relate to its shape? So if I imagine a box around this apple, something really quick and rough, I get proportions something like this. All right, so that's about the size of the apple. Okay, and if I measure this, it looks to me, right, it's about this tall and about this wide, so it fits pretty much within a square. And then in terms of the shape, think about just some of those simple angles. So for example, if I imagine drawing a line here for the base, here for the shoulder, here for the shoulder, and here for the base, I've got the rough geometry of the object. And then if I look and compare these with that geometry and that scale, I can start to draw the contour, right? So I can move down, up into this, follow the shape around into the object, looking for some of these other forms, something like this, drawing the back shoulder here, and the stem. And there I have a very quick representation of my apple, all right? So let's talk about how to go to the larger scale with this, all right? So what I can do is use my sketchbook as a guide and keep looking at the apple, of course, to enlarge this to the form. So first thing is, I know that this fit pretty well within a square. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to be drawing with some charcoal today, just so it's darker and you can see it. But start this with pencil, since it's quickly and easily available to you. So square, how do I make a square on this page? Well, I'm just going to take my arm, elbow to fist here, in the same way here. You can see that. Okay, there's the basic proportions of my apple. Right, I can see that. Okay, got the square started. All right, that's the proportions that I'm going to work within and base everything off of that. All right, next, look at those angles that I created before. I can kind of mimic that. This one goes almost all the way up to the halfway point. So I'm just going to kind of map that in, something like that. I'm going to map this one in, something like this. I've got another angle here and another angle here. And there I've got the basic proportions of what I'm working with. And then I'm going to refer back to the apple, okay? Because you don't always, don't do it by memory, right? You're going to be drawing what you see. That's the key here. So I want to start to follow those contours, all right? And as I go, see this goes down a little bit, kind of goes up. Just slowly let your eye and your hand connect and follow the contour around. Remember, it doesn't have to be totally perfect. You can edit along the way and get the shape as close as you can to what you see. Something like that. I erase this other stuff out. This is vine charcoal I'm using, and you can easily just use your hands to kind of smudge it away. You could also use a kneaded eraser as well. But that's the overall beginning of the shape. And then I'm going to go into some of the contours I see behind it a little bit. Okay, because I do have to consider the perspective of what I'm drawing. And then, of course, a main emphasis point is this stem that kind of comes up and comes back down into the form. I do also see a lot of lines that are appearing to curve around this shape coming out of that stem. So I'm just going to start thinking about the direction. The stem is sort of the epicenter of those lines and how they come out and around this object, right? So with this, then, you want to continue to compare the contours with what you see, strengthen your lines a little bit, think about how it meets the surface, and continue that form all the way around. All right, so this is a pretty good start to getting that apple. Let's see how well we did. See if we can get it to fit. Oh, pretty close, not too bad. All right, so this is a start. The goal of the project is take something small and really enlarge it. We're just working on contour line. I've started with this basic step. What I would do is continue to work on this with more line components to really make it effective. But don't worry about shading and value it stuff right now. So again, small object, large scale for that first assignment.